In WAVES2 CMS, we have a widget which is called the Text Resizer. What this does is it allows you to put on a page the ability for users to change the size of their text. So, for example, if your body font on your site is 12 pixels, and that's the default, it may not be large enough for certain viewers. So this can address some accessibility concerns that you might have if you have an older audience or people that have difficulty seeing smaller text. So it's real easy, just put this widget on the page, and then like any other widget, you configure it in a way that makes sense for your site. So this widget, the Text Resizer, can go on a template or can go on a page. So if you want to have it on your entire website, you would put it on the templates that drive your website. If you just need it on a certain page for a certain campaign, you would just put it on a single page. So before I show you how actually to do that in the CMS, I'm going to show you just some different examples of the Text Resizer. And we have this on our site, waves2.com, under the widgets. So here's some examples. Here's one. You see the line is the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog. And this is the actual Text Resizer that you can put on the page. Now, everything's customizable. So this does not have to say change text size. It could say Text Resizer. It does not have to be A-, A+, which is going to zoom in and zoom out on the text. Here's another example. You could say, resize the text, and then you could let the user actually choose the size that is suitable for them. Then another example is this incremental text slider. So you could have them, see, text getting bigger and smaller. You could have the viewers use this type of slider, or we could have a vertical slider. So we have horizontal and vertical. So the widget has a bunch of different options that make it accessible, so you can change the color, change the text, change the size, so that it looks the way you want it to on your website. Okay, and then just to note here, when we change the text size, we're only changing, obviously, the HTML text. We're not changing anything in a graphic. So when I do this, I'm just changing this text here. I could make it also so that this text here changes, any of the template text or anything that is not a graphic. But something like this, our logo, the WAVES2 logo, it's an image, so it obviously cannot be resized. Okay, so let me just go over here into the actual WAVES2 CMS. And I have a page that I'm just going to put the widget on. It's called Technology. So what you see here, is your navigation on your left and your working area here on the right. So I'm just going to press Edit Content. And I'll insert the Text Resizer widget right here at the top. So I'm going to go to the Widgets drop-down menu, choose Text Resizer, or Text Resize, and then I'm going to select it, right-click, choose the properties, and then save the widget. So what happens when I save the widget is the configuration of that widget automatically appears. So it defaults me to the style sheet for this. So if I wanted to, I could change the color, the size, to make sure it's skinnable within my site. I could use a default style sheet that I use all over my site so that it doesn't look out of place. I can go to the property values here and select a theme if I want it to have a default, just like a black color, hay color, a web blue, a sunset. So there's some default themes. And also in WAVES2, you can always upload new themes. So that's in a different section, but that's possible as well. Okay, so this next field for caption, this is the words that are going to show up right before the Text Resizer. So right here, if I just toggle back, see where it says text slider, that's the caption. If I go to a different example and it says resize the text, that's the caption as well. So I'm just going to call this change text. And then, let's say the display mode, I'll choose, my three options, the standard, which is the characters, and as I change this, it'll change here. So size list, I could choose the drop down, or I could choose the incremental bar, and then horizontal or vertical. Okay, so I'm just going to do that middle one, size list. And the initial value means, do I want it to start at 10 pixels? Do I want it to start at 12 pixels? Instead of doing an initial value where the system will decide how to increase and decrease the font, I'm going to use custom sizes. So if I just click that, I'll get 12, 18, and 24, and then the user will be able to choose what pixel size is right for them between those. But these are editable, so I can change this to 18, 20, and 24. Totally up to you, whatever you want to do. And then there's this box where I can check or uncheck, which is to resize only the page content and not the template content. So this was checked in the example I showed you, resizing only the page content. So when I change this, it's resizing only this page content, not everything else that's in the template. Okay. So that's up to you too. It's a total preferable customization thing. As always, in all widgets, I can copy the settings from another one if I have a text resizer elsewhere on my site for another purpose, but I really like the way it looks and I don't want to fill all these fields out again. I would just copy the settings from that instance of the widget. Okay, let me update this. Okay, so now I'm just going to save this page. Okay, so while this is running, I'm going to go over to the staging site. I could just press preview here, but I already have it open. So I'm just going to come here and I'm going to refresh. And there's my text resizer. So here you see the caption I put in was change text. I started with 18, 20, 24 pixels. So you can basically choose whatever you want, and it was so easy just to put this on a page. So you can put this anywhere you want on your site pretty easily. Okay, so that is text resizer.